Guys, guess what? We are nearly to the first part of the actual end of this game.
Oh, yeah! Parties!
We're gonna fight the last boss.
Oh.
It's gonna be Barry.
No, it's not Barry.
Damn.
I want it to be Barry! I want you to kill Barry!
Holy shit! Something is scripted. Holy shit, another scripted thing! Oh shit! No, it's super scripted!
Oh man, physics.
Oh god, it can't hurt us anyway. All I have to do is walk forward. But it's
Suddenly,
so
as far as like scenery and build-up goes, it is pretty cool.
Yeah, no, this is a really cool section, and I actually really enjoy this part because our objective is destroy the tornado.
Awesome.
We are finally fighting the darkness tornado that has been attacking us throughout the entire game.
I like that it's actually called. I like that its actual name is the Darkness Tornado.
A darkness tornado. Well, it's Barbara Jagger, but
Well, it just says up in the corner there, destroy the tornado.
yep, you can't win. But also look at how much flare ammo we get, and then watch what it takes to win this fight.
Is it just
Wow, wow, wow,
Oh
wow,
my-
wow,
what the-
wow.
What? All right, you guys ready? You guys ready to win the game?
Yes.
We're gonna win the game. Up,
So
oh,
ready.
shit. Okay, okay, we're gonna. Oh shit, we're winning the game! It takes two.
No, it takes a few more.
Oh shit, birds! Birds are coming! Birds are
Birds
gonna
and
kill us!
buses and tornadoes and a man on fire.
Someone had a baby.
And now we get to the actual really fucking amazing part of this game that I wish was the entire game.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't.
No, just watch.
Okay.
Alright, so we had a thing, a page,
Yes.
about Alan standing above Cauldron Lake with a clicker in his hand. And he suddenly knows what he has to do.
Uh-huh.
And he fucking jumps.
That one's an 8. Yeah.
Hell! Hate! What's this?
Are we in hell?
Wakes up?
Are we in hell?
Oh, his hair got really long.
Baby, you were having a bad dream. It was just another nightmare.
Do you see the shadow around her?
Everything's fine.
Look at
You're
the
home.
outside.
It wasn't a dream.
Everything's fine.
Ugh.
Turn
Oh
the
dear.
lights on. Turn the lights on!
And then suddenly, we're playing through it.
Shh, baby. The power's out. There's no light. Come back to bed.
It's-
and I'll
it's
make
like
you forget all
daytime.
about your fear of the dark.
My fear? It's your fear. Why aren't you afraid? You're not Alice. Turn the lights on now. Where's
Whoa.
the clicker? What did you do with it?
Alan, you're scaring me now. Come back to bed. Have you taken your pills? Do you want me to call Dr. Hart?
It's like Max Payne.
I read your manuscript. It's brilliant. Departure is your best work yet. You're a genius. I'm so proud of you. Come back to bed. We'll talk more about
What
it
hit
later.
you?
Come back to bed, Alan. Come back to bed.
Oh shit. And look, flashlight. And there's a thing that is representative of the clicker.
What? What is happening?
Oh, it's Zane.
It's Pressure Suit Zane.
You must find your way to the cabin. It stands in your way. It won't let you pass. It has no heart. It's filled with darkness. You must fill its heart with
Wait,
light.
but it has no heart.
You have to fill its heart with light. Heart's full of darkness. Who's that?
What? The foot?
Who's that?
Shadow Wake.
Don't mind him. He's Mr.
What?
Your friend.
And look,
when you're gone.
that guy has a bandit, and Alan doesn't.
What?
What?
Use the clicker.
What? Wait a second, what?
Have we been here the whole time?
What?
Are we the darkness?
Now look. Look at what is here. And look, just like we summon the clicker, we can summon things here with the light. Because we write them into existence.
Huh.
Oh.
Do you want a phone? We've got a phone. Do you want a barrel? We've got a barrel.
What?
How about a path? We've got a path.
Whoa. Whoa.
And
What?
I'm leaving you. I messed up. I'm in love with
But a
someone
bridge.
Alice?
We could have
No,
a bridge.
no, you can't.
else. You don't love
Oh, and then it got interrupted by the fucking battery.
love yourself.
How about a bird?
All you do
Y'all want a
is
bird?
No, no birds. Birds are bad.
Oh, but the bird flies away.
No, I love you more than anything in the world. You're my muse.
And then we're walking out onto Diver's Isle,
Who are you? What have you done with my Alice?
which didn't ever exist, but exists here, under the lake.
Oh man, there's the cabin.
It wasn't true.
Bird leg cabin.
Nothing like that had ever happened. You're not my Barbara.
What?
I promise you good. Please,
Whoa.
untie me, you naughty boy. I will help you write your masterpiece. I will love you forever.
No, you're not Barbara Jagger. I made a terrible mistake. I should have never written you back. You came back wrong. Your heart is filled
And
with
the voice
darkness.
that is for Thomas Zane there is for Alan's.
Put it down.
Your heart is filled with darkness. I'll cut it
What?
out. Take you back to the depths you came from.
Oh.
And then we walk into the cabin.
Oh.
Now you will never get her back.
And look at where her heart should be.
I am much older than you. Older than your first work of art. I will find a new face to wear. Someone else to dream me free.
Hug it out, man.
But what's left?
I have no idea.
The cabin's still here.
I could feel Alice's presence close by. I understood what I had to do now. I knew how to write the ending to Departure. There's light and there's darkness. Cause and effect. There's guilt and there's atonement. But the scales always need to balance. Everything has a price. That's where Zane had gone wrong. There's a long journey through the night back into the light. Alice?
But now he doesn't have a...
Well, yeah, because we're earlier in the story now.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no!
Oh no.
You can't have her.
And that's, yeah, that's the whole point.
I'm not drunk enough.
And time keeps passing. That week we lost. And who's this? Is this Alice?
I don't know, Sam.
Is she released from her prison? Somehow alive?
Her legs are freaking me out.
Has she attained this freedom because of the things that we wrote?
Alan? Alan?
Well, like you said, their scales have to balance.
Mm-hmm. Also note that when she climbs out of the lake, she is entirely white and her skin is pale and she is filled with light, whereas the entire time Alan is wearing dark clothing, clothed in darkness.
I
Right.
refuse to believe that they were that witty when they made this game.
No, it had a good plot, it just had a bad game built around it.
It's not done yet. And here's Bright Falls, somehow undisturbed. And the Deer Fest begins.
Still not a single deer, though. Look at all these people that we don't know.
And look, everyone, the entire town is alive, and everyone is happy and spending their time together. And she's holding a lamp. And he's in darkness.
What?
It's not a lake. It's an ocean.
Alan, wake up.
And that was Alan Wake!
Huh. So that was a really good ending. Like,
Yeah. Oh,
it
yeah.
was like sufficiently
Oh, yeah. No, yeah. Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, what the fuck?
So, there are 2 DLCs that are basically each an episode long.
Like Space Oddity, god damn it.
Why is
Yep.
Space Odd?
Because of Thomas Zane. And because of Alan Wake drifting off into the dark.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is why I actually like this game. Because while the entire gameplay leading up to it is repetitive and bad and things don't make sense and there are plot holes everywhere and there's all sorts of bad writing and dialogue, the fact is that it all is exactly there for a reason. And what they managed to do with that ending is convince you that they knew exactly what they were doing the entire time. And it's impressive. And that whole last 10 minutes of gameplay from when you walk up to start killing the tornado all the way through to the very ending is brilliant.
Yeah. I agree.
You know, you finally get an example of representation of things becoming reality. You get the callbacks to all of the flashbacks being rewritten into Alan Wake's strange psychotic nightmare. And then you get Thomas Zane making his final action, which is to create an Alan Wake
Sorry.
And then I've done everything.
to serve as the representation of Alan. While Alan writes in the lake, presumably to write the lake away and write himself out of the lake. Because while at the ending of one story the scales must be balanced, that doesn't say anything about the ending of the next story.
Right.
Yeah.
So here's the question.
Yeah.
Is it worth it?
I don't know. I legitimately don't know, and I still haven't played through the DLCs yet. I was waiting to finish this with you guys before I did that.
Is 4 hours of gameplay and confusion and frustration worth 10 minutes of payoff?
I don't know. I legitimately don't know, and that's what really concerns me about this, is because the writing for this, when it counts, is really strong.
Yeah.
It's a significant amount of stuff in this game that is really not great, and really bad writing, and really doesn't make sense. And the fact that you can say at the end, oh yeah, it's because of all of these things, is not the best explanation. While it's impressive that
She knows.
go through that and make that be effective, it's also bad writing, because it falls into the trap that a lot of young writers do, in that they think that a story that requires a twist ending must hide things from the reader, whereas the best stories that are unexpected or have unexpected endings present you with all of the evidence but none of the context to identify the evidence, unless you are very, very good at identifying context based on very small clues.
Would you kindly?
Exactly.
Well, I mean, that's why, and I'm mentioning this as a detective writer. A lot of, like, one of the biggest tropes of detective fiction is that you reveal the ending within the first act.
Exactly. There's that moment where there is a detail that makes you go, aha. But that was placed there at the very beginning.
Yeah. And like you always reveal the very, very, very the major key to the ending, or the major villain in a mystery story, or etc. within the first act.
Yep.
But you do it in a way that, or you try to do it in a way that readers will be like, oh, this is just a dude.
Yep.
That does stuff.
And the slightly different thing about horror is that you plant the same foreshadowing, however it pays off in a different way at the end. And sometimes it's, you never know what the actual solving of the mystery is, and that's its own horror in itself. Or sometimes you get the full import of the horror but can't fix it. Like you solve the mystery, but it doesn't matter that you've solved it. The problem with this game and this game's story is that it tries to be both at the same time. You know, it tries to be a mystery, and it tries to be a meta-narrative and be this time-bending, like a strange pseudo-narrative, meta-narrative, and kind of fails at all of that, but also succeeds in a way. And it's frustrating because there's so much potential in this game's story and the things that it does, but the fact that it's a video game really hampers it. Like, this would be brilliant if this was a novel.
Yeah.
And in fact, it is. I can think of, it's Stephen King's The Dark Half. It's It in a lot of ways. It's Needful Things in a lot of ways. It's Twin Peaks. It's
Twin Peaks is shit.
fucking, you know, it's a bunch of different things that you can point to and say, these are the things that they were trying to reference and also make their own story, but they put more references in than their own story.
Yeah.
And then when it came to gameplay,
Yeah, exactly. The other thing,
I'm sort of actually reminded of in that respect, of Deadly Premonitions.
yeah, absolutely.
Which, where combat was added at the very, very end because Swery was told to add combat.
Yeah.
And if he hadn't added combat, it would have been great.
And I don't know enough about the development process of this game to know if there was a similar situation occurred, or if they had, like we suspected, a smaller game that was then broadened. I don't know. And I think it really suffers for being as long as it is. Like, I think if you could cut out absolutely an entire act of this game and have a shorter, better, tighter game.
Yeah, I think Act 3 is the one that you can just it doesn't do anything in.
Just
Most of Act 5
literally Act 3 is you try to get to a kidnapper who doesn't actually matter. He's not part of his plot is literally a red herring, but you spend 1/5 of the game trying to solve it. And
well, I could also see how length would matter to like a big name company, because you're going to spend $50-$60 on a title like this.
People price games in cost per hour, and that's why AAA titles are always 14 to 20 hours long, because you don't want it to be too short, but you also know that most people aren't going to play a game that's longer than 20 hours.
And the problem is, I feel like they didn't have enough story to merit the length.
Oh yeah, no, it's 14 to 20 hours of game does not mean 14 to 20 hours of meaningful content.
Right. But where I look at this versus something like, I don't know, BioShock or BioShock Infinite, like, the pacing there is significantly better. Like, this one, like, BioShock Infinite builds to builds to 3 different climaxes that I can think of that denote 3 different acts of the game. Whereas this builds to 18 different climaxes, fails to provide resolution on about half of them, and then gives you something that you should have had a climax on at the beginning of the game, at the end of the game.
Or, if we're just going to cite BioShock, the series, BioShock 2, which has about 3 very minor climaxes that don't seemingly matter at all to build up to one huge climax.
Right.
Well, and also, I mean,
where the 3 previous ones actually did matter.
Yeah.
There's also this weird part where we're comparing this to BioShock, which is a first-person shooter.
Well, but this game absolutely tries to be a first.
Yeah, no, and that's the thing that it shouldn't be. That's the thing it shouldn't have tried to be.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it sets itself up to be a survival horror game that is in no way a survival horror game and has all of the elements of a first-person shooter game in a survival horror game.
Yeah.
The other thing, and I want you guys to think real hard about this, what the fuck was Nightingale doing there? It's never explained. He does not have a reason for being there. There is no reason. Why is
I was honestly going to ask that
agent coming after Alan Wake in such a murderous manner? There's no reason for it.
He disappears and we don't question it.
Yep. No. Yeah. Coop goes to Black Lodge.
Like, fuck. So yeah. Any other comments?
No, I got nothing.
No, man. There's a
We got
lot of
7 minutes to pad out.
a lot of people worked on this game.
All right. We're gonna say goodnight to the internet, and Matt, I want you to just fill the last 6 minutes of this with yakety sax. All right. Ready? 3, 2.
Good night, internet.
And
Good night, internet.